Good morning, everyone. Today, the 22nd December is celebrating as National Mathematics Day in remembering the birthday of a great mathematician, Srinivasa Ramanujan. Good morning, everyone. He once said, simplification is not only valid in maths, it teaches us to simplify the complexities of life. The goal of this one-day orientation program of AICT is also similar. That's a simplification of understanding our engineering subjects by translating into the mother tongue. മാതൃഭാഷയുടെ പ്രാധാന്യം വിളിച്ചോതുന്ന വള്ളത്തോളിന്റെ ഇരടികൾ ഉദ്ധരിച്ചുകൊണ്ട് ഇന്നത്തെ പ്രോഗ്രാമിലേക്ക് ഞാൻ കടക്കട്ടെ. മറ്റുള്ള ഭാഷകൾ കേവലം ധാത്രിമാർ, മർത്യന് പെറ്റമ്മതൻ ഭാഷ താൻ. On behalf of Digital University Kerala, I extend my heartfelt greetings to the respected dignitaries and the participants from the various engineering colleges who joined us today. We are honored to have you all in this one-day orientation program on technical book translation conducted by Digital University Kerala in association with AICTE, as imparting the implementation of national education policy in the higher education sector. First of all, I would like to invite Dr. Elizabeth Shirley, Professor and the coordinator of this program, to welcome the gathering.
Good morning again, and warm greetings from Digital University Kerala. So, distinguished guests on the dais and off the dais, or the members of the second year translation work. So this workshop is jointly organized by Digital University Kerala and AICT for the translation of technical books of second year engineering. So there are about 42 books to be translated, and we have about translators and reviewers. So out of 84, like 42 plus 42 translators and reviewers, I think about 70 have accepted our invitation to come physically and attend this workshop, and about 15 of them they are in online due to some personal reasons, or this is very peak time due to Christmas and all, to get that the tickets from various places. So we have arranged an online session also. This is in fact, first of all, let me thank you, or let me congratulate you for accepting this consent for helping the learning community to learn in our own languages. So the workshop is basically intended to know each other, because you have a pair like translator and a reviewer. You should work in sync. You sync and work with all this translation work, and you should know who is your reviewer of a translator. And also at the same time, we'll provide you a roadmap and how to go about this workshop, this translation process. And we have been used a tool that has been developed by IIT Bombay, that is called Udan, and how do this tool can be used for this translation work. That is we meant for this workshop. And okay, now let me start welcoming our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Dr. Saji Gopinath, who is presiding over this function. So he is always very supportive and consider this as a very ambitious project, because it benefits our own children for their learning process. So his dynamism and also his enthusiasm that will make us also to achieve the goal in a time-bound manner. Sir, welcome you, sir. This workshop will be inaugurated by Dr. Achishankar S. Nair, Head and Professor of Department of Biology and in Bioinformatics, University of Kerala. So, if you, Dr. Achishankar, if you remember the first time orientation program, that is the first year orientation program also we conducted here. Dr. Achishankar inaugurated the program. This time also we have invited him because we cannot find any other person, none other than you, because of he is an avid reader and a writer, with a musical sting. Some of you must be knowing him. And at the same time, he's an educationalist, even a researcher, so that he can understand the language of translation very well. Author of many books, that is one of his uniqueness. That includes novel, children's stories, and also technical books. So we are really honored with your presence here and welcome you. Of course, today's our guest, Srimati Mamta Rani Agarwal. She is working as advisor one of AICT. She is the former additional secretary, Association of Indian Universities, AAU, and also former joint secretary of a University Grants Commission. Interestingly, she is also from the first batch of a lady pilot officer in the Indian Air Force. Madam, we are very grateful to you for insight of all your tight schedule. You have made this event to come and participate with us, and we welcome you. Today's our other chief guest for a special address is Professor M.P. Punia. He is the Honorable Vice Chairman of AICT, who will be addressing us online. Professor M.P. Punia, he is specialized in the field of mechanical engineering and having a vast experience of 30 years. And he started serving in the Vice Chancellor of AICT since 2017. And prior to that, he remained as Director, National Institute of Technical Research, Technical Teachers Training and Research, Chandigarh. He is a recipient of Bharat Mata Award conferred by the Indian Institute of Oriental Studies. He also received a national award for empowerment of persons with disabilities by the Honorable President of India. Welcome you, sir. The coordinator of this second year AICT second year translation work is Dr. Dinesh Singh. Unfortunately, he is unable to join with us, but you will be interacting with him for all this translation process, and that for the successful completion of this endeavor. So we have a special mention to Dr. Dinesh Singh also. We have been interacting with for the last 1 month to get this all process done it. A high mention to all the participants because of your positive attitude and enthusiasm to be a part of this mission to make this learning into our own regional language to our children. That is really amazing, and we have to really appreciate your interest in becoming a part of this mission. So once again, thank you for your concern and welcome you all for this workshop and for all this venture. Last but not the least, all the staff members of District University Kerala who have been working behind the screen for this orientation program and also for the entire translation journey. So once again, welcome all of you and Merry Christmas to all of you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. For the inaugural address in this special day, I'm honored to invite Dr. Achushankar S. Nair, Professor and Head Department of Computational Biology and Bioinformatics, University of Kerala. Thank you, sir.
Respected Vice Chancellor of the Digital University Kerala, Professor Saji Govinath, Dr. Mamata, Professor Elizabeth Shirley, my dear fellow teachers. Many faces are familiar, but I am very old to very old to recall the names, but I fondly remember many of you. I'm very happy that Dr. Shirley invites me again and again to address in coming under her supervision. I feel especially happy to take part in this program because I've written a lot in Malayalam, technical books in Malayalam. In fact, my first book itself was 32 years ago. I wrote a book on electronics, basic electronics in Malayalam, which is printed even today. I don't know why. I am unable to understand anything from the book now. It has lot of time has flown. but I have my own perceptions about how translation should be done, and from my multidisciplinary exposures, I would like to share some of those thoughts with you as a part of the inaugural speech. It into a local language. Our aim is same. We need to communicate well. We must understand that communication has many hidden influences to it. There is somebody sitting in our mind to whom we are speaking actually. For example, I do not know what you are thinking, what your personality is, what your language skill is, what your subject knowledge is. So I'm actually not speaking to you. I am speaking to a model that I assume that all of you represent, which is sitting inside my mind. If you realize that, that is beginning of mending your communication, because you can question whether that model is what you want to be there, sitting there. This is true for teaching also. Teaching is also in a very large way a process of communication, even though not exclusively just that. So when you teach in an engineering college, you have a notion about what a BTech student is. That sits solidified in your mind, and you are constantly addressing that. So I would request you to do an introspection, and if possible, or if required, to remove this person, the faceless person sitting in your mind, and redefine it. And your whole communication gets affected. The way you speak is going to get affected. I think we all know of this idea of speaking to the lay person. Mahatma Gandhi's talisman is a Daridra Narayana. He says, if you are doing research and you have a question whether the research is relevant, you must ask this Daridra Narayana whether this is relevant. And then he or she would answer. And then you should take that into consideration before deciding what to research on. So similarly, there should be a talisman or a taliswoman in your mind. This person, understanding that person, will redefine your communication. For example, there are many sociological factors that affect communication. For example, in Kerala, at least, I'm not too sure about pan India, there is a kind of colonial attitude towards language. English is considered to be a superior language, and what you think as dirty or private can be referred to in English, and it is acceptable. But if you refer to that in Malayalam, it becomes quite, I would say, quite touchy. How many of us can go to a doctor and refer to our private parts in Malayalam? We will invariably mention about it in English, even though if you refer to in Malayalam also, it is the same object, but we wouldn't do that. How many of us would go to a house and ask in Malayalam, where is the toilet? Would you use a Malayalam word for it? That would be quite awkward to do. You would always ask, where is the toilet or urinal? You will not be using a Malayalam word for it. Very interestingly, there is no Malayalam word for it. The word that we have in Malayalam is actually a Portuguese word. The word cacus is a Portuguese word. And I think if Malayalis know that, they will use that because it is more stylish. We need to, Malayalam has I would say the government is trying to make it the first language, but in minds of an average Malayali, it is a second language. We must remember that. And many years ago, I tried to create a vocabulary of words in Malayalam when I was director of CDIT. I sent out a survey to a lot of people, teachers, students, public, asking what would be the word you would suggest for such and such technical terms. And many of them answered, many of them kind of made very sarcastic remarks about the survey. And many of them asked, why do you want to translate? Computer, why do you want to translate? We are all comfortable with the word computer. What is the whole purpose of translation? And then we have this habit that if it is not English, then let us use Sanskrit, not Malayalam. So we use very heavy Sanskrit words. We have the habit of using that. In the school textbook, the word ice cap is translated as Himachadam. You could actually simply say it is Manjutopi. For backlash, the Malayalam word is tirichadi. We very usually use it in politics. Sarkarine tirichadi undai, kodadi tirichadi undai. But the school textbook says pascha-gamanam, going back. That is what it is. So here is a time when you are going to confront these issues. That is why I said there is some sociological aspect of it. The mind of, you must read the mind of an average Malayali as to what their language attitude is. There are very interesting works on this about Malayalam and Malayali. So whether you want to redefine the language sense of a local learner or do you want to go with it is a question of policy. I think what is possible is that you go midway. On certain things you think of a redefinition, on certain things you play according to the rules of the ongoing game. That is what is most feasible. So what that means is you don't translate computer. You don't translate computer. But for example, if there is a word coming called default, then I would argue that an average learner may not know what is default. The English word default is not as common as computer. So possibly think of a translation for that. And that my pick of the translation is Padavin Padi. That means there the communication is enhanced because of your translation. But if you replace the word computer with a heavy Sanskrit word, communication is impaired. That is all that happens. Your policy wins, but communication fails. So we must always think whether our translation is giving a enhancement in communication or is it retardation in communication. Last time when I spoke, I referred to one of the greatest professors of our state, definitely one of the greatest professors produced by University of Kerala, Professor Vedamani Manuel, who looked at the textbook and wrote a very beautiful article. And he has written an article about the Archimedes principle of translation. And he said, a simple idea, when translated using heavy English or Sanskrit words, will displace as much knowledge as is contained in the sentence. That is what his Archimedes principle is. മലയാളത്തിൽ പറഞ്ഞത് ആർക്കിമിഡീസ് പ്രിൻസിപ്പിളിനെ കുറിച്ച് പാഠപുസ്തകത്തിൽ എഴുതിയിരിക്കുന്ന വായിച്ചിട്ടാണ് പറഞ്ഞത്. ഒരു ജലത്തിൽ ആദേശം ചെയ്യുന്ന വസ്തുവിന്റെ പിണ്ഡം അത് നിമഗ്നമാക്കുന്ന ജലത്തിന് തുല്യമായിരിക്കും എന്നാണ് ആർക്കിമിഡീസ് പ്രിൻസിപ്പിളിന്റെ മലയാളം. It's not Malayalam, actually it is heavy Sanskrit. And what he said is, actually you put an idea in heavy words, then it displaces the knowledge that is equivalent to what is recorded in that message. So I think you could understand why Dr. Vedamani Manuel is a very great professor. His take on, even though not on the topic that I am speaking, his take on teachers is that he can speak in metaphors taken from day-to-day life. He said, who is a teacher? And he quotes a film song. He says, "Jnanariyadente manasajalaga vadil thurakkunnu ningal." That is what a teacher is, who opens your mind of the window of your mind without you knowing, and he is the teacher. That is what he says. So I just shared these thoughts. I think you have very practical issues before you, but you are very lucky that you have a software which would do the base translation, and you have to actually finish the product in front of you, draft product in front of you, which is very good. And then the words get stuck. But I would suggest to you to do one more value addition of deciding whether the sentence needs to be very long. One of the most beautiful speeches I have heard in a language which I do not know, but I understood, was a speech made by Sri Anna Hazare. I think many of you know him, one of the famous Gandhians who is still amidst us. So we spoke together in a ThinkEdu conclave organized annually by Indian Express. So I cannot listen to a very poetic Hindi speech much, but I understood all that he said because his sentences were too short. So he said, what is education? Kidhar jata hai? Kya khata hai? These were length of sentences that he were saying. What do you eat? Where do you go? Whom do you talk to? What do you talk? So he said that is what education is. So even if your text that you translate has a very long sentence, in Malayalam you would say Gamandan sentence, consider breaking it into short sentence. I think you know that in natural speech we don't use very long sentences. One very good model to speak, which most great thinkers have suggested, is to, I mean, there is something of a gender kind of sensitivity there, but with your permission, I use that word, to speak to your grandmother. This is what uh, Albert Einstein also said. I say it about my own grandmother. My grandmother went to school only for 4 years, but she had a lot of life experience because she had 12 children. And if I can tell her what I learned, the PhD student at the end of the class, end of the open defense, I asked them my question. Please tell me what I should tell my grandmother that you researched on. All your communication challenge comes up together because you can use no technical terms. You cannot use very long sentences. She wouldn't listen to it. You have to break it down into very small sentences. So like it is like speaking from the heart rather than speaking from the brain. So you're translating a technical book, not a novel, but still think of very long sentences as something you have to work on additionally. It has to be broken down into shorter sentences. And I do not know whether this comes in the realm of translation. You know, there are European countries where there are ministers for happiness. Can we make our translation a more happy experience? Is a question, is a very creative challenge for translators. So without really going into redefining the whole stuff, but maybe a bracket humor or maybe a phrase that you use will bring a drop of joy into the mind of the learner, then that could be thought of. So you are working in terms of a pair of somebody who does the base translation and somebody who critically reviews. That is very good. I today morning read a copy of the National Education Policy. I am by and large very appreciative of it. The American system is being adopted. It is a proven system. But in a graduate attribute, it is mentioned, critical thinking is to find fault in the arguments of others. That is what it says. To me, critical thinking is being critical of your own thoughts, not of somebody else's. So unless you can be critical of your own thoughts, you cannot be critical of other people's thoughts. And also it is very easy to be critical of other people's thoughts, but it's very difficult to be critical of one's own thoughts. So I think the writer and the reviewer has to do both the roles. The person who writes has to be critical of what they have translated, and the person who is supposed to be the critical, playing the critical role needs to be Johnson. Good morning. They have to also appreciate and enjoy what the translation is being done. It is not a question of, you see, very recently I had one of my wild dreams or wild ideas. I wanted to create a human-powered light in my campus. So because Kerala has a lot of coconut trees, and a lot of coconut trees are cut down and lying there. So I thought you take one piece and put a pulley on the top, and then you pull this up. Students can come and pull this up. And then without accelerating, you just let it come down. Then you get a rotary motion, and then you put a dynamo there and create light. So I asked many of my engineering college, I'm sorry, maybe some of your teachers are also there. The mechanical department, I asked, I have this idea. Can you tell me how this mechanism can be designed? All of them told me why it is not possible. All the professors that I consulted. But I then consulted a very excellent mechanical engineer, also an artist, who works in VSSC. And he told me 3 ways in which it can be done. So critical mind is not something always very useful. You need to look at things with the curiosity of a child, and with your dreams not just thrown away because you have a critical mind. Otherwise, you wouldn't achieve anything. I think the training in VSSC is very different from that of us teachers. We teachers have this red pen in our hand, even invisibly it is there. Anything that you see, you start, finding what is fault and then you marking it. Not a very good idea, actually. So I remember before the times of startup in Technopark, they had technology evangelists or something. And somebody called me and said, be a technology evangelist or advisor or to the incubation centers many years ago. One professor from IIT Madras IIT Bombay came and he said, don't be a teacher. If you If you are a teacher, then you have this invisible pencil in your hand, and you are looking at everything to find fault and reject and tell that it has to be better. He said, look at it with the curiosity of a child. As the Bible says, you have to you have to look back and become the child, awaken the child in you and be a child. So translation also, you have to be doing that. Don't put your professor, engineer mold of your mind. Look at it from the innocence of a child. And also, if possible, I said I don't want to thrust that too much. Make the reading a joyful experience. That is what we could do in this translation. I'm sure that there will be technical advice to you on all these matters, but I just thought I will share some of my personal thoughts on the subject, and enjoy doing the translation. One good thing about these books is that it would go into hands of hundreds of students. We know that, if you take 50 years ago, the College of Engineering, Trivandrum, we say that our standards have come down. But that's actually wrong, because 50 years ago, the elite went to the engineering college. The classes were filled with people of second, third generation learners. Their parents were already in very good positions. A small number of students came from disadvantaged groups. But today, our colleges have cross-section of students from all parts of the society. And therefore, you will find that some of them have a lot of language problems. And if there is a Malayalam book which would communicate well and inspire them well, and their language issue is taken care of, I'm sure that this will go a long way into improving their education and making it more joyful experience. I do not know if students recognize and realize that there is a huge gap, because they do not get learning material in their mother tongue. In the other day, in the Kerala University, I heard that in one department, there was a huge failure of Dalit students. And I was the quality assurance director. So I secretly arranged to meet the students. And there was some strike going on, saying that the regulations were changed to limit the number of master's degrees that you can take to 3. Because in some of these colleges, students take a master's degree, do not complete, they admit, then they join another master's degree, and stay in the hostel for 10 years. And to do what you know. And I called the students and asked them, what is your problem? They were reluctant to speak. They were not confident to speak, these students. I felt very sorry. But finally, when I encouraged them, gave a cup of coffee, talked to them, asked them about their home and all that, finally one student spoke, and she said, the biggest problem we face is that our university is preventing us from taking more than 3 master's degrees. Actually, they are struggling to pass the first semester examination, because our society creates artificial problems, and students identify themselves with artificial problems. And what problems they have, they do not know. When we tell students that you need to serve the society, don't work for you but work for the society, I always like to tell them, see, if you go in an airplane, before the plane takes off, you are given some advice. One of the advice given to you is that before you put the oxygen mask on somebody else, first put it on you. Otherwise, you won't be able to help others. Our students must remember that they cannot help the society. They cannot solve problems of the society until they themselves become smart and they realize their inner strength. They cannot be helping others. But what happens in our campuses is our students are misled into thinking that you have to solve all the national issues and that is your priority, and you don't realize the issue that is breathing down your neck, which is going to plague you for your whole life, that you are not going to get a job, and you are not smart enough, you are not confident enough. So if material is provided in mother tongue, I think there would be, if they're properly designed and it is readable, and it creates some joy in reading it, I think it will cause a great change in our education system. Let me close by also calling upon the teachers to write, not only based on this experience of translation, try to attempt to bring out books in Malayalam of your own, not really translating something, but write books in Malayalam. As a person who wrote many books about computers, I would like to say 2 things. One, it is very remunerative. Your books get to sell. gets sold for a very many years. As I already told you, 30 years my electronics book is selling. And the government is sending me once in 2 years. Very surprisingly, they send me some money. And I do not know what I did to get that. So you write a book in Malayalam. See, the State Institute of Languages, Government of Kerala publishes books. And you know the two category of books that sells most? One is computers and the other is music. For music, the reason is that there are not enough books. For computers also, there are a good number of books, but the point is that they prefer Malayalam books. There is a large number of students who prefer Malayalam books. So that also has to be a kind of a side effect of this workshop. So I think I stop here. I refer to myself as a Prasanga Thorulali. I normally need 1 hour to really warm up and speak, but I think the occasion prevents me from doing that. I wish you all have a very happy, a very enjoyable translation experience. And remember your grandmother or grandfather, whoever that is, and try to keep them in your mind when you are in trouble, when you doubt how to translate a sentence. Maybe it will help you. Thank you very much. Jai Hind.
Thank you very much, sir, for your enlightening inaugural address and also share your experience with us. So now now I call upon our Honorable Vice Chancellor for the presidential address. Sir, please.
Good morning. Honorable Chief Guest, Dr. Achyut Shankar S. Nair, Dr. Punia, who will be joining us online, the Honorable Vice Chairman of ACT, our guest of the day, Dr. Mamta Agarwal, Advisor 1, ACT, my colleague and the leader of this project, Dr. Elizabeth Shirley, other colleagues from the UK, and faculty colleagues joining from various colleges. It's a privilege for the UK to welcome all of you to the second batch of translators on a very important mission. In fact, Professor Achyut Shankar has very beautifully summarized the need for translation and the nuances of the translation and the requirement all around us. So when I think around 6 months back, when ACT asked us whether the UK can take up this job, some of you may be knowing that it's a very small university. We just started 2 years back. We are in a stage where we are not even walking; we are crawling. It is at that stage. But then, in a world which is moving so fast, I think the dreams are always in a very, very high pedestal. And when we have people like Professor Shirley, who takes up any challenge, we said that we will take up that. And we were very apprehensive whether we will get enough number of responses and people from Kerala, because as Dr. Achyut Shankar said, generally we believe that translating to Malayalam, especially technical books, etc., is something which is it's not very trendy or fashionable. But to our surprise, we have a large number of people who respond to our calls, and people have come for the workshop, and we are very happy that the first project, first year books, is actually nearing completion. We hope that very soon we will have that books released. There was some problem with the software, but that I think is get addressed. And this time we have an even larger number of people, and we are extremely happy that all of us are joining on a mission to make the engineering education really inclusive. Now, as Dr. Achyut Shankar said, I don't think when we think about looking at vernacular language books, we are actually going to make our education vernacular. I think it's much more than that. See, if you look at in the past, say for example, when I did my engineering along with maybe Professor Achyut Shankar, maybe 30 years back, or even more than that, I think, right? 40 years back, perhaps. That time, if you look at, we have at least 25 to 30% of our class are people from other part of India. They don't speak Malayalam. They speak Hindi, or they speak English, or they speak Telugu or Tamil, etc. Today, you look at, I study CET. So today you look at CET and ask how many percentage of people are coming from other part of India. You have a very, very small percentage. And that is not because CET is not good today, not the case. The case is that when we studied, like you said, it was still an elite in that sense. We have hardly around 7 or 8% is our GER. And if you look at the percentage of engineering colleges in the country as a whole, is less than 100. So naturally, people from different part of the country has to travel to other part and do the education. Today, that is not the case. You can actually walk 5 kilometers and you can go to a good college. So primarily what happened is you have more people, or almost every people who speak the similar language has come into the colleges. And if you listen, and I'm sure that we listen when we move out of our classes, we see that students speak only in their mother tongue, right? We very rarely hear people speaking in English. Same thing, if you go to a North Indian college, you never see anybody speaking in English. They speak in Hindi. So primarily, the natural way of communication is the vernacular. Now, when you have a natural way of communication is vernacular, we are putting an artificial layer on the top of it and say that in the class, you can only speak on English. And that is basically where we will actually find a sort of a challenge happen. And it's wrong to believe that if you communicate in our own language, the communication is not perfect. And I think that is beautifully given by Dr. Achus Shankar. And I believe that is primarily the essence. And with NEP speaking quite a bit of self-learning and speaking about quite a bit about individual autonomy and things like that, it may be more relevant for the students to have a method in which they can actually learn very easily as such. And that is the task I think we are planning to do. We may still have our courses, exams, everything in our in a universal language, but there will be a supplementary thing where students can refer back, understand it, communicate with each other, and that's basically what we are developing. And for that, as Dr. Achus Shankar said, we actually will have to have, we need to actually make it very, very strongly communicative, much more easier than what is currently being done. It is also seen that, if you look at Kerala, sort of education, we see that there is a large number of students failing in engineering, and many of the engineering seats are actually going vacant. So when we did some analysis of this, we found that if you look at the up to 10th education, even if a student is studying an English medium, most of the transactions happen in a class in Malayalam. Not the type of words which we speak, but normal language. That's the way the teacher teaches. Most of the college, even if you call it an English medium school, the normal way. Maybe some CBSE, ICSE schools may be an exception, but generally most of the education happens in Malayalam. Maybe in English language isn't, but Malayalam education happens. Now think about what is happening in 11 and 12. The 11 and 12, there are two big jumps. One, from a Kerala syllabus, when you go into NCERT-oriented +1, +2, there is a big technical jump happening. In addition to that, +1, +2 teachers generally speak only in English. So the fundamentals which people learn in 11 and 12 is actually very weak. With that weakness, they come to engineering. And then the first year engineering actually put them almost out of track. And that is the fundamental issue. And this issue, unfortunately, is still not been solved. And we say that our students are not having education. Engineering teachers will complain that what is happening in the schools is bad. But we need to actually understand that when a person is not able to assimilate the knowledge in the way he or she naturally assimilate, naturally he will not be able, he will make the learning process a very, very difficult process. And unfortunately, we still don't have support systems, be it a GATE, be it Labor India, or be it Byju's. None of them are in the local language. They're all in English. I'm not saying that those things are needed, but none of the support systems are actually in the language which a person actually prefers. This actually leads to a marginalization, and that marginalization continues unfortunately to a career. So I think together what we are trying to do is to address this issue. So it is not a small issue to convert a set of textbooks to into Malayalam, or a set of books, technical books, into Malayalam. We are doing far, far more than that. And that larger purpose is what excites Digital University. And that larger purpose is what I think excites all of you. We are very thankful that all of us share that larger vision and coming together. And I don't want to extend it further because we'll have a lot of hands-on on this as we proceed. We look forward to great output from you. And I again echo the last point which Professor Achus Shankar said, that in addition to translation, it's also important that we need to write our books. I still remember that my science education was primarily more from the books which Kerala Shastra Sahitya Parishad used to publish. You remember, right? Now, unfortunately, now those books are not there. And the beautiful, very, very small books, which actually gives you the beautiful concepts. And I don't think any textbook has ever told me that beauty about on the science, on the engineering, on the maths, on that. We really require to reinvent that. When we say that our students are not interested in this, go back and ask this question: are we really communicating them well? And there is a larger issue also. India still don't have a Malayalam computer. India still don't have a Hindi computer. With a country which boasts saying that we have larger amount of computer professionals in the world, still we only think, even though Panini's grammar is ideal for computer-based algorithms, we still don't have a compiler, a language which is natural, which drives the computing facilities. China has, Japanese have, Germans have, but we don't have. So it's a challenge for us. And that challenge can be addressed only when we actually make our people realize the worth of the language, and what they communicate actually translate into what they are work in the days to come. So again, I'll say that this is a very large and a very, very ambitious project which we all are taking up across India. And thank AICT for initiating this and making an opportunity for Digital University to be a part of it. We are very privileged to be a part of it, and we hope that together we will make some very great contribution to the future generations to learn the technology and engineering in a better manner. Thank you very much for coming. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your constant guidance and support, sir. Next, I would like to call upon Dr. Mamata R. Agarwal, advisor of AICT Training and Learning Academy, Delhi, for the keynote address. Welcome you, ma'am.
Good morning, a very good morning to all of you. The Dr. Saji Gopinath, Honorable Vice Chancellor of Digital University, Kerala, he has just now apprised us. And then a very mesmerizing speaker, Dr. Achut Sankar Nair, who spoke in detail about the nuances of translation and how actually a language is lost in the process of translation. Dr. Alijabeth Sarli, who is the coordinator, and all my very lovely colleagues here who are sitting here. Thank you for being here, and it is my privilege to address all of you. And today, you know, I can see one very beautiful inclusivity sitting here, and I counted 27 of us are women. So, you know, we are talking about another inclusivity, and that is linguistic inclusivity. So a lot of things which Professor Nair has said, I absolutely agree with that. And I will come to it in the later part of my lecture, that how should we be translating. I hope I am able to do some value addition to what he has already spoken in detail. The first part is that, you know, why are we doing it? I mean, you know, see, the basic thing is, it has always been since the time we got our independence that, you know, somehow we got independence physically in a political sense, but I think we never came out of our that, you know, that colonial mindset. Even today, when people speak fluent English, and I can tell you my own example. Once my car broke down, I was director education for the entire Delhi area, NCT of Delhi, government of NCT of Delhi. So I had a very important meeting. I told my driver that I will take the metro, and I was in the metro, and I had to take one conference call with United States. And I was continuously speaking on phone in English and wearing a sari. And then, you know, some young girls who were wearing all jeans and very, very smart attire, and they just looked at me and then said, "Oh, you look, you know, this lady who is in a sari speaks such good English." So it's not only that we have so many issues with the language. We have preset notions. We have conceived notions about everything, including the attire we wear. So I think language has also been perceived in the same manner. And I just got back to those girls and told them that even today, I think the entire household and the entire country is run by women who wear saris. So what I'm trying to say is that we never came out of our colonial mindset. So why first thing is that this debate and after national education policy, this debate is not about mother tongue versus English. Our debate, or I would not even say debate, our continuous conscious effort should be our mother tongue, our rich heritage and culture in our mother tongue, plus English. Because due to technology, the world is increasingly becoming a global village, a global destination. So, what I'm trying to say is let us have equal proficiency in both the languages, because along with our regional national narrative, we will, and our students, our children will also be competing with all the people worldwide. So, first thing is, why are we even talking about, having these things? So, in various parts of the world, including some very, very important research in South Asian countries and even in India, one thing has been categorically established, that learning deepens when we understand the concept in our own mother tongue. And then, specifically in the subject of science and mathematics, the complex topics, the complex concepts become increasingly clearer. The students can relate to them, understand them at a much deeper level in a holistic and comprehensive manner if they understand it from their own mother tongue. That is one. Secondly, parental participation in the teaching learning process of students, teachers' participation in the teaching learning of students, and a cohesive class participation where students can get up and ask questions, so that curiosity embedded questioning answer, and then those deliberations, I think, and as the study suggests, they become much more powerful, much more participative if we do it in our mother tongue. That is another thing. And thirdly, this I'm saying from my personal understanding, that in all Indian languages, in all regional Indian languages, we have very, very rich heritage, culture, our own Indian knowledge system, prose, poetry. I mean, it's so beautiful. Even sometimes when I visited this Padmanabhan temple, few things I could not understand because it was not in my language. So I was wondering, can I really do it? So what I feel that if we read, if we understand, if we connect to our own regional culture, I think we will be able to communicate for our future generations. So I think that validation, that even digitalization, dissemination, and keeping our future generations deeply embedded into our cultures, our ethos, our value systems would require a lot of connect with the language. Because if you do not actually understand the language, in Hindi, I don't know how many of you know Hindi. If a student cannot read poetry, prose, and lot of drama, everything Hindi books written, probably he or she would not even have particular understanding of that contemporary societal formation, the way society has been formed. And another thing is that we need to get out of this colonial mindset. So somewhere when our students would really, really understand their language so well and understand that our forefathers have been such visionaries, and from metallurgy to Vastu Sastra to Vedic mathematics to anything you talk about, our Indian language system, our Indian knowledge system is much more rich than many other things which the Europeans or the Americans or the Westerner have been telling us. I think they would take much more deeper pride in that. Professor Nair, I don't think I can even add to your competence, but a few things now. How do we do this translation? He has already said it that we always have an imaginary figure in our mind when we try to actually translate. Uh, in forces, I'm from Indian Air Force, there is a very deep focus, very concentrated focus on communication. And they always said that what I have transmitted, the other person should exactly understand the same thing. And even the definition of communication as per management is same. But that rarely happens. And in Indian Air Force, if I say that launch the missile, and he hears that don't launch it, or other way around, it can actually make the entire geopolitical scenario change. So what he has tried to say, and I'm trying to just take few of his words. So whenever you are translating, you would have those model outcome based books with you. Please read it, reread it, understand it, that what you are trying to say, a person with average understanding of the subject, with impacted by various socio-economic conditions, and with emotional and mental framework of his own setup, will he or she be able to understand? So you need to make this whole process of translation as authentic as possible. One of my visits along with my husband to Stanford, and I met a very famous Polish translator, and I'm not able to recollect his name, but he just made one statement which carries with me even today. And what he said, that in the translation, the essence of the content is lost. So what I want to request you, and I'm not too sure if how to do it, and probably Professor Nair would be a better person, but just translate it in a manner that the essence of the content, the essence of the communication, what I am trying to say for a layman, for a normal student, is not lost. So whatever you say, make it simple. Communicate to impress, do not communicate to communicate to express, do not communicate to impress. And half the time we are communicating actually to impress. So I think make it as authentic, make it as simple, make it as interesting as possible. And then we have guidelines. You have one very efficient team, Udan, from IIT Mumbai, that will do 80% of the work. But never rely on tools, because what you and your brain still remains the most effective tool in the universe. So reread each time you have translated. And if you feel that something has been done wrong, even in the original English books, please inform your coordinator. And the coordinator, if he or she finds that it is a very genuine mistake and it needs to be corrected even in the original books, she can come back to us, and then we take all those corrections very seriously. Other than that, do not try to make it complicated. I mean, if there is a word as keyboard or there is a word as computer, you may leave them as it is. All the embedded content in uh, a figure or in any diagram, leave it as it is. You don't really, anything which is inside, which is embedded within the diagram, you don't have to translate it. If one word is very complicated and you feel the child still may not understand, you can always write the English word in bracket, or you may also have an alphabetically arranged glossary of 1 or 2 pages. Detailed, these things are given. So let us ensure that we create linguistic equity. We ensure that all our first generation learners are students who are not elite, students who are coming from rural background, who are coming from semi-urban background, who are looking up to each one of us, that they also have to go up the ladder of socio-economic achievements as some of their counterparts who started from a higher pedestal. So let us ensure that we use language as a very empowering tool. We create a system, we create a technical education system where we can create technocrats who absolutely believe in diversity, who believe in inclusivity, and who commemorate excellence. I look forward to your cooperation, and it's my humble request, kindly do a good job and do it within the timeline. Thank you so very much. Jai Hind. Thank you. Everything is
Thank you so much, ma'am. Next, I would like to invite Professor MP Punia, Honorable Vice Chairman of AICT Delhi, and he will be joining online. Sir, am I audible? Hello, sir. Okay, then he'll be joining after some time. Now it's time for the participants for give us a self-introduction of yourself, and kindly come in front and give a self-introduction, brief self-introduction. Please come first. You can start from- yeah.
You can switch on the mic there. No mic is on.
എല്ലാവർക്കും നമസ്കാരം. I think in a workshop like this, maybe introducing in Malayalam would be better. ഞാൻ രഘു, ഞാൻ കോഴിക്കോട് NIT വർക്ക് ചെയ്യുന്നു. എൻ്റെ പേര് രഘു, ഞാൻ കോഴിക്കോട് NIT വർക്ക് ചെയ്യുന്നു. ഇലക്ട്രോണിക്സ് ഡിപ്പാർട്ട്മെന്റിലാണ് വർക്ക് ചെയ്യുന്നത്. Thank you. Sorry, madam. My name is Rekhu. I am working in National Institute of Technology, Calicut, in electronics department.
Morning all. I am Miji Philip, working as an assistant professor in TKM Institute of Technology, Kollam, in the Department of Mathematics.
Good morning. My name is Arjun. I'm working as assistant professor in College of Engineering and Management, Punnapura, Alappuzha. Subject civil engineering.
എൻ്റെ പേര് സുമം. ഞാൻ തേർഡ് ഫാക്കൽറ്റിയാണ്. ഞാൻ പ്രൊഫസറായിട്ട് വർക്ക് ചെയ്യായിരുന്നു ഗവൺമെൻറ് എഞ്ചിനീയറിംഗ് കോളേജ് തൃശ്ശൂർ. റിട്ടയർഡ് ഇൻ 2021. My subject is fluid mechanics.
Good morning all. Myself, Indu P. Nair, working as professor in College of Engineering, Aramula, Department Electrical and Electronics Engineering. Thank you.
Morning all. I am Jaya, working as associate professor from KMCT College of Engineering, Calicut.
Hello. Myself, Dr. Johnson, associate professor in Lourdes Mother College of Science and Technology, Trivandrum. I had very interest in translation and literature also. Also, I had attended so many translation workshops in National Central Institute of Indian Languages, Mysore, under the banner National Translation Mission. Had some contract with them in translating some classic textbooks also. Thank you.
Hello. എൻ്റെ പേര് ഗോപകുമാർ, ആദിശങ്കര എഞ്ചിനീയറിംഗ് കോളേജ്, കാലടി. AICT മറ്റേ NBTL കോഴ്സിന്റെ ട്രാൻസ്ലേറ്ററാണ്.
Electronics and Communication Engineering Department work ചെയ്യുന്നു. Electronics ആണ് എനിക്ക് തന്നിട്ടുള്ള translation work. Also, I am the Joint Secretary of IIT Madras Alumni Association. Nice to meet you all.
Morning all. I am Anil Kumar KK. I'm an associate professor in electronics and communication. I'm from Cochin University of Science and Technology in the Kutanad campus.
One second. As sir is leaving now, I invite Shalini ma'am to give a small token of appreciation. To Achishankar sir.
Good morning.
Good morning all. എൻ്റെ പേര് സന്തു വർഗീസ്. ഞാൻ മംഗളം കോളേജ് ഓഫ് എഞ്ചിനീയറിംഗ് ഏറ്റുമാനൂർ മെക്കാനിക്കൽ ഡിപ്പാർട്ട്മെന്റിൽ വർക്ക് ചെയ്യുന്നു അസിസ്റ്റന്റ് പ്രൊഫസറായിട്ട്. താങ്ക് യു.
നമസ്കാരം, എൻ്റെ പേര് ഹരിപ്രസാദ്. ഞാൻ മംഗളം എഞ്ചിനീയറിംഗ് കോളേജിൽ മെക്കാനിക്കൽ ഡിപ്പാർട്ട്മെന്റിൽ വർക്ക് ചെയ്യുന്നു.
നമസ്കാരം, എൻ്റെ പേര് സ്വാതി. ഞാൻ സിവിൽ എഞ്ചിനീയറിംഗ് ഡിപ്പാർട്ട്മെന്റ് മുസ്ലിയാർ കോളേജ് ഓഫ് എഞ്ചിനീയറിംഗ് ചിറയൻകീഴ് തിരുവനന്തപുരം.
എൻ്റെ പേര് സുശീൽ ജോർജ് ജോസഫ്, വർക്കിംഗ് ഇൻ കമ്പ്യൂട്ടർ സയൻസ്, ക്രിസ്തയോദി കോളേജ് ഓഫ് മാനേജ്മെന്റ് ആൻഡ് ടെക്നോളജി, ചങ്ങനാശ്ശേരി, കോട്ടയം.
My name is Jyoti Shankar in NSS College of Engineering, Palakkad. Discipline is mechanical engineering and dynamics.
Hello, good morning. I'm Rajesh Baby, working in the Department of Mechanical Engineering at St. Joseph's College of Engineering and Technology, Palai.
I'm Tom Zakaria in the Mechanical Engineering Department of St. Joseph's College of Engineering, Pala.
Good morning all. I'm Jaymon Jacob from Government Model Engineering College, Ernakulam, Computer Science Department.
Hello.
Good morning. Myself, Hari Venkat. I am a assistant professor in Mar Basilius Engineering College and from Mechanical Department. And I'll be handling translation of disaster management. Thank you.
Good morning all. I am Dr. Balagopal. I represent the Providence College of Engineering, Chenganur. I am from Department of Civil Engineering and I'm here to translate engineering geology. Thank you.
Good morning. I am Dr. Saino, head of the Civil Engineering Department of Providence College of Engineering, and I'm here to review the book on disaster management.
Good morning all. I am Harishankar. I am from Providence College of Engineering, Chenganur. I am joining you for reviewing the subject on engineering geology. I am from the Department of Civil Engineering. Thank you.
Good morning all. I am Dr. Sumi Kevi from Department of Management, University of Kerala.
Morning all. My name is Sunupi Nair. I am working in University Institute of Technology, Tirengi. I am working in Computer Science Department.
Morning all. Myself Raji P. Mohan from Sri Buddha College of Engineering, Alappuzha, and I am from Department of Civil Engineering.
Morning to all. My name is Samrita from Basic Science and Humanities Department of St. Joseph College of Engineering and Technology, Balai. Actually, my discipline is chemistry, but I'm here to translate environmental sciences. Thank you.
Good morning, all. I am Shemi Moore, working as an assistant professor in TBW Institute of Technology. My department is Computer Science and Engineering. I am here to translate computer organization and architecture.
ഗുഡ് മോർണിംഗ് ഓൾ. എൻ്റെ പേര് വർണ്യ. ഞാൻ തേജസ് എഞ്ചിനീയറിംഗ് കോളേജ് തൃശ്ശൂരിൽ നിന്നാണ് വരുന്നത്. ഇലക്ട്രോണിക്സ് ഡിപ്പാർട്ട്മെന്റിൽ അസിസ്റ്റന്റ് പ്രൊഫസർ ആണ്. ഇവിടെ ഇലക്ട്രോണിക് കമ്മ്യൂണിക്കേഷൻ എന്നുള്ള സബ്ജക്റ്റിന്റെ ട്രാൻസ്ലേറ്റർ ആയിട്ടാണ് വന്നിരിക്കുന്നത്.
Good morning, all of you. Myself, Srividya, coming from Federal Institute of Science and Technology, Ernakulam, and I am from Electronics and Instrumentation Department.
Myself, Rekha Moji, working as assistant professor in University College of Engineering, Karivadam, Department of Computer Science and Engineering.
Good morning to one and all. I am Arya Devi from Adi Shankara Institute of Science and Technology, Kaladi. I am here to translate basic electronics.
Good morning all. My name is Jamie James and I am coming from Adi Shankara Institute of Engineering and Technology, Kaladi, and working as an assistant professor in Electronics Department.
Morning, dignitaries and all the faculty members who are present here. I am Dr. Devika, representing SEMS Cochin School of Business, Kalamasheri, and I am here as a reviewer for the book Effective Technical Communication.
Okay. Good morning, sir. I now invite Rajiv Kumar, sir, Member Secretary of AICT Delhi, for the special address.
Thank you, madam. Thank you, madam.
Okay.
First of all, I thank my team, Dr. Mamta Agarwal, headed by Dr. Mamta Agarwal, advisor, for organizing this workshop. Vice Chancellor of the University, Digital University, Kerala, other faculty members, translators, and reviewers in Malayalam language. As you know that in NEP, Government of India has prescribed that we will provide education, technical education in all regional languages. In view of that, AICT prepared a scheme and we have already prepared the books of first year in all regional language, in 12 regional languages, and the work for second year books is going on, and around 12 books in original books in English language has already been written and they have been shared with the translators. Work is going on across the country to translate these English books in 12 Indian languages. And this workshop being organized, Digital University Kerala, for Malayalam language. I can see large number of translators are there, reviewers are there. They will understand the tool also because we are taking help of IIT Bombay. They have developed a tool, Udan, where translation of English will be done in Malayalam language. That translation is not perfect. So that's why we expect the translators and reviewers, they will review the translation done by the tools and hope we will get the good books in Malayalam languages. Not only we are providing these books, we are putting all these books on a portal. AICT has developed a portal that is known as eKump. We are putting all such books, translated books as well as English books, which are originally written as per the model curriculum. And these books, they are the outcome-based books. And whenever some new concept is introduced. We are giving barcodes also, QR codes also, where more knowledge about that topic can be gained by our students through this facility. I hope through this workshop, our translators, whatever difficulties, queries they have in their mind, they will be able to get the answers of all such queries through this workshop. Experts are there. As far as administrative issues are there, Dr. Mamta Agarwal is there. Our team from Atal Cell is there. They will take all issues. They will resolve all queries in respect of the administrative matter. In respect to the this technical matters in translation, Udan team is there. I think they are connected online. So you please ask as many as queries you have in your mind to our experts, to our officers from AICT. I hope this workshop will give an opportunity to all translators. They can interact here. And my appeal to all of them is that please try to complete this work as early as possible, because we are already lagging in time. Semester has already started or going to start in the month of July. So we hope we will be able to complete this work well within the time. I once again thank all the translators and reviewers for accepting our invitation for translating the books in Malayalam languages. Thank you very much. Namaskar. Jai Bharat.
Thank you so much, sir. Now the participants can continue the self-introduction. So it will really help you to interact with each other and you can know each other. It will help in future.
Good morning, one and all. I am Dr. Sethu Lakshmi from SEMS School of Technology and Management from the Department of Biotechnology. I'm here to translate biology for engineers. Thank you.
I'm Francis Fernandez, Professor and Head of Electrical Engineering, Government Engineering College, Barton Hills, Tiruvandhuram. And I am assigned with translation of a book in electrical machine.
Morning, everyone. I'm Shamna. I'm from Government Engineering College, Barton Hill. I'm working in the Department of Information Technology and here to review the subject data structures and algorithms. Thank you.
Morning to all. I'm Anil Kumar Research from Sri Chitra Tirunal College of Engineering. I'm working as professor in that college, reviewer of fluid mechanics and motion.
മോർണിംഗ് എൻ്റെ പേര് വർക്കി. ഞാൻ അമൽജ്യോതി എഞ്ചിനീയറിംഗ് കോളേജ് കാഞ്ഞിരപ്പള്ളിയിൽ സിവിൽ ഡിപ്പാർട്ട്മെന്റിൽ അസിസ്റ്റന്റ് പ്രൊഫസറായിട്ട് വർക്ക് ചെയ്യുന്നു. ഇവിടെ ഇൻട്രൊഡക്ഷൻ ടു സിവിൽ എഞ്ചിനീയറിംഗ് സബ്ജക്റ്റിന്റെ ട്രാൻസ്ലേറ്റർ ആയിട്ടാണ് വന്നിരിക്കുന്നത്.
ഗുഡ് മോർണിംഗ്, എൻ്റെ പേര് ദിനേഷ് ഗോപിനാഥ്. ഞാൻ ഗവൺമെന്റ് എഞ്ചിനീയറിംഗ് കോളേജ് ബാട്ടൺ ഹിൽ ഇലക്ട്രിക്കൽ എഞ്ചിനീയറിംഗ് ഡിപ്പാർട്ട്മെന്റിലാണ്. ഇവിടെ പവർ ഇലക്ട്രോണിക്സ് എന്നാണ് ബുക്കിന്റെ ട്രാൻസ്ലേറ്റർ ആയിട്ടാണ്.
നമസ്കാരം, എൻ്റെ പേര് അശോക് കുമാർ. ഞാൻ റിട്ടയർഡ് പ്രൊഫസർ, CET-യിൽ നിന്ന് ഇലക്ട്രിക്കൽ ഡിപ്പാർട്ട്മെന്റിൽ നിന്ന് റിട്ടയർ ചെയ്തതാണ്. ഇപ്പോൾ കൺസൾട്ടന്റ് ആയിട്ട് KDSKിൽ വർക്ക് ചെയ്യുന്നു. എനിക്ക് അസൈൻ ചെയ്തിരിക്കുന്ന റിവ്യൂവർ ബുക്ക് എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് ബേസിക്സ് ഓഫ് ഇലക്ട്രിക്കൽ മെഷീൻസ്.
Myself, Dr. Fawaz TK, working as Assistant Professor of Fluid Mechanics at the Department of Ship Technology of Cochin University of Science and Technology, and here as a translator for the fluid mechanics.
My name is Rindo. I'm coming from Thrissur IES College of Engineering, Chitlavalli. I'm here to translate the book Engineering Mechanics.
Myself, Arvind P. I'm coming from Institute of Engineering and Technology, Calicut University, Department of Mechanical Engineering, to translate the book Strength of Material.
Morning all. I am Dr. Bindu J from College of Engineering, Trivandrum. I am from Civil Engineering Department and I am the translator of Introduction to Instrumentation for Civil Engineering Applications.
Myself, Jaren Mohan. I am a faculty member of Applied Science and Humanities Department of
Albertine Institute of Science and Technology, Kalamassery, Ernakulam. Here I am going to review the book on power electronics theory and practical.
Good morning. My name is Tony Verghese from the Department of Mechanical Engineering, Amarjyoti College of Engineering, and I'm here as the reviewer of the translated book, Strength of Materials. Thank you.
Morning all. My name is Shaji M. Jamal from Muthoot Institute of Technology and Science, Ernakulam, in the Department of Civil Engineering. I'm reviewer of basics of mechanics.
Good morning, one and all. I'm Binod Verghese, working as assistant professor from Muthoot Institute of Technology and Science, Ernakulam. I'm here to review the book, Instrumentation in Civil Engineering Applications. Thank you.
Good morning. I am Dr. Rajesh from College of Engineering, Chenganur. I'll be dealing with analog device.
My name is Imtiaz, working in PKM College of Engineering, Kollam. I'm here to translate a book on instrumentation and control.
Morning, everyone. I'm Dr. Lainey Rachel Matthew. I'm working as assistant professor in Marbacelius Engineering College. Here to review the book Biology for Engineers. Morning, all. Myself, Deepa PL from Marbacelius College of Engineering and Technology. I'm from Department of Electronics and Communication Engineering. I'm an NPTEL translator. I'm here to translate book Signals and
Morning all. Myself, Bobin Sujijo from Marbacelius College of Engineering and Technology, Trivandrum. I'm working as assistant professor in the Department of Mechanical Engineering, assigned with the translation of applied thermodynamics.
Online participants, can you introduce yourself?
Hello. Good morning to you all. My name is Mani. I am retired from Model Engineering College as principal and now working as. Hello. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you are audible, sir. Continue, sir.
Okay. I am at present working as academic dean, MGM College of Engineering and Technology. My topic for review is analog electronic circuits. Thank you.
Hello.
Yes, sir. Continue, sir.
Hello.
Hello, sir.
എല്ലാവർക്കും സുപ്രഭാതം നമസ്കാരം ഞാൻ ഗുഡ് മോർണിംഗ് മലയാളത്തിൽ പറഞ്ഞേ ഉള്ളൂ സുപ്രഭാതം നമസ്കാരം കേൾക്കാവോ ഇസ് ഇറ്റ് ഓഡിബിൾ
കേൾക്കാം സർ കണ്ടിന്യൂ
ഓക്കെ എൻ്റെ പേര് ഡോക്ടർ ഷാജി ജെയിംസ് ഞാൻ കേരള കാർഷിക സർവകലാശാലയിൽ എഞ്ചിനീയറിംഗിൽ പ്രൊഫസറായിട്ട് ഒരു മോർ ദാൻ 30 പേനെ ഏൽപ്പിച്ചിരിക്കുന്ന കർത്തവ്യം എനർജി സയൻസ് ആൻഡ് എഞ്ചിനീയറിംഗ് എന്ന് പറയുന്ന ബുക്കിന്റെ വിവർത്തനമാണ്. അത് ഇങ്ങനെ ഒരു ചുമതല AICT ഏൽപ്പിച്ച് അതിന്റെ AICTയുടെ ബന്ധപ്പെട്ട അധികാരികളോട് നന്ദി അറിയിക്കുന്നു. എല്ലാവരും ഇതുപോലെ പരിചയപ്പെടാൻ സാധിച്ചുള്ള സന്തോഷം അറിയിക്കുന്നു. നമസ്കാരം.
Thank you, sir. Next participant.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I am Dr. Sabu K. Retired professor from College of Engineering, Trivandrum, from Mechanical Engineering Department. Can I hear you? The things which I am talking?
Yes, sir. You're audible, sir.
Yeah, right. Thank you. Now I am continuing my profession with the School of Management, CET. My task is as a reviewer in Introduction to Mechanical Engineering. Today I am unable to come physically there, but still I am seriously listening the all program from starting onwards. Thank you all. Most of few of the participant sitting here is familiar to me from the introduction. Also, some of them are were colleagues to us. Okay, thank you all. Thank you very much.
Okay, next participant. Please switch on the video also.
Hello, good morning everyone. I'm from St. Vincent's College of Engineering, Kottayam. My name is Vinaya, and I'm here to I'm here as a translator for effective communication skills. Nice to meet you all.
Okay, next one. Prasida is here.
Good morning all. I am Prasida from St. Joseph's College of Engineering and Technology, Palace, and I'm here to translate data structures and algorithms.
Okay, Shaji James is there. Shaji James, sir.
Already introduced.
Yeah, okay, sir. Chinnu is there. Chinnu. Any other participants available online now?
Good morning. Hi, ma'am.
Yeah, you can continue.
My name is Sinu Sara Prasad. I'm working
Can
as
you please switch on your video also?
My name is Sinu Sara Prasad. I'm working as a system professor in Providence College of Engineering, and I'm here to review the book on civil engineering, social and global movement. Thank you all.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Mani sir is there? Mani.
Already introduced.
Then any other participants are there? Any other participants?
Hello, everyone. Are you hearing me?
Hello.
Yeah, you can.
Yes, yes. I'm Dr.
Hello,
Sijumon
am I
BA.
audible?
Yes, yes. Shall I start?
You can start. Ma'am, please
Yes.
wait.
I'm Dr. Sijumon BA from Amal Jyoti College of Engineering as a reviewer for environmental science. Okay, thank
Okay,
you.
sir. Okay. Ma'am. One more participant is there, no? Hello, ma'am.
So I am working. Hello.
Yes, ma'am. Hello, ma'am. You are from which college?
I'm from Deepole Institute of Science and Technology.
Okay. Okay, ma'am. Thank you all the faculty members for your self-introduction. And now I invite Dr. Elizabeth Shirley, coordinator of this program, for giving a small memento to the AICT, madam. Thank you, ma'am. As a concluding remark, I invite Dr. Malu for the vote of thanks.
Very warm good morning to all. Kerala University of Digital Sciences, Innovation and Technology is for curating a responsible digital world. A responsible digital world for our planet, our people, our prosperity, our partnership, and for our peace. Today, our university is trying to attain another milestone by coordinating this technical translation scheme as part of implementation of National Education Policy 2020. It has been such an honor to be part of this wonderful attempt, translation of technical books to Malayalam languages along with AICT. I wish this translation effort will help our students to understand technical subjects more clearly, and they can attain more knowledge, which could help them to more creative and productive in technology. This attempt emphasizes on understanding that helps to uplift students from urban and rural areas. I hope this provides equal opportunities for them to learn concepts, visualize, think, design, and implement their ideas. On behalf of Kerala University of Digital Sciences, Innovation and Technology, I would like to express my heartfelt gratitude to our esteemed guest, Dr. Achusanga S. Nair, Professor and Head, Department of Computational Biology and Bioinformatics, for inaugurating this event. We are really enlightened with his inaugural address. Thank you, Dr. Mamta R. Agarwal, Advisor, AICT Training and Learning, for her keynote address and being here with us today. I thank Dr. Rajiv Kumar, Member Secretary, AICT, for his special address. I extend my gratitude to AICT for funding and giving us an opportunity to coordinate this translation scheme. Next, I would like to thank Professor Saji Gopinath, our University Vice Chancellor, for his unlimited support and mentoring. Thank you, Professor Elizabeth Shirley, for coordinating this event. Thank you, Madam. On behalf of the entire university, my heartfelt thanks to all translators and reviewers for being a part of this joint effort. A special thanks to Mr. Surag and all other members of Center for Excellence in Brain Computing and Virtual Resource Center for Language Computing. And thank you all teaching and non-teaching staff, technical teams of DUK. Thank you all.
With this, we have come to the close of this inaugural ceremony. Now it's time for a small tea break, and also followed by a group photo session also will be there. After that, we'll come to the technical sessions.